and welcome to Behind the Music for Daily Hope. This weekend in worship, our opening hymn is going to be Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee, set to that very famous tune by Ludwig van Beethoven. I'm sure you know it, but I'm going to play just a couple phrases so you have it stuck in your ear as I'm talking today. You recognize it, right? Joyful, joyful, we adore thee. The text was written by the American author and theologian Henry van Dyke. Now, Van Dyke's family had been in America for several hundred years. Originally, he was from Holland. He served many roles as ambassador and so on. And he was also very respected as a teacher and a preacher. And he was on the faculty at Princeton. While he was at Princeton, he was invited to go and be a guest preacher at Williams College in Williamstown, Massachusetts. While he was there, he was staying at the home of the president, and the story goes that one morning he came to breakfast and he had a piece of paper, and on it he had written a poem, perhaps as a thank you to his hosts for their hospitality, and he presented it with the instructions that it must be used with the tune Ode to Joy. This Beethoven tune is what had been in his head as he was writing this text. Now, he said that the inspiration as he was writing came from the Berkshire Mountains, and that's especially meaningful to me because I grew up in the shadow of Mount Greylock, which is the tallest of the Berkshire Mountains there in western Massachusetts. So I can just picture how he was out in nature, thinking about God and thinking about beauty and just being so happy and joyful in writing this text. It's very meaningful. In our hymnal, we have 3 stanzas of this, but he actually wrote 4. And this week, I especially want to include the 4th text because this weekend we're talking about partnership in the gospel. We're reading from the 1st chapter of Philippians, where Paul writes, "I always pray with joy because of your partnership in the gospel." And that's why we come to church, right? So that we can be together, so that we can fellowship, so that we're not alone, and that we can be partners together as we share this wonderful gospel story. I'm going to read this 4th stanza for you. It might be familiar. Perhaps you've sung it somewhere else over the years or heard another choir sing it. But let me read it for you. Mortals, join the happy chorus which the morning stars began. God's own love is reigning o'er us, joining people hand in hand. Ever singing march we onward, victors in the midst of strife. Joyful music lifts us sunward in the triumph song of life. Isn't that such a beautiful picture? God's people join together, hand in hand, marching together, no matter what. Whether there's strife, whether there's happiness, whether there's sorrow, whatever it is, we can still sing, we can still have this inner joy, and we're partners together. We're not alone. So I really hope that you enjoy this setting of Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee, and I really hope that you feel the joy that comes from being partners together. I'll see you again next week. 1, 2.